Okay. So this is the Postgres DBA course content. The first topic is installation types. Okay. So what are the methods are there to install Postgres database? On Windows, how to install? On Linux, how to install Postgres database? After installation of Postgres database software, how to connect the database? What is the default port number? What is the default super user? How many database created by default? So these are we'll discuss. So these are the Postgres installation types. In Windows only there is a one method is there. That is the GUI installation method, graphical user interface. In Windows, if anyone asks, please install Postgres on Windows platform, how many methods are there? Only one method is there. That is for GUI method, GUI, graphical user interface installation. So the remaining these three methods will be applicable for Linux platform. In Linux, how many methods are there to install Postgres? Three methods are there. One is source code or configuration installation. Second is M method or package installation. Third is RPM installation. In case of Linux operating system, you can choose any one of the method. We'll see first this Windows method will install Postgres on Windows platform via GUI method. So once we familiar with the Windows platform, then we'll switch to Linux platform. There we can go through install one by one. First we'll see how to install Postgres database via source code method, then how to install via M method, then how to install RPM method. In real time, mostly we are using M method only. So we'll see why we are using M method, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, the other methods. So first today we'll discuss on Windows operating system. In my laptop, the Windows OS is there. How to check which window, which operating system it was? Can say go to PC properties. There we can say which operating system, what is the memory, can say here. So the storage 1.2 terabyte. Okay, so this is the installed RAM 32 GB for my laptop. This is the i5 10th generation processor. So which operating system? Windows 11 Pro. Windows 11 operating system installed on my laptop. So I decided to install Postgres database on my Windows operating system, that is Windows 11. So first, where we can get, first we have to do download Postgres software. Download Postgres. So we are using 16 during this training. So download Postgres 16 software for Windows operating system. We are not installing on Linux. So we'll say once we'll familiar with Windows, once we finish with Windows operating system, then we switch the Linux operating system. So there we'll see how to install the same software in Linux, how to install. So download Postgres 16 software installation. Second, install Postgres 16. So we'll see where you can download, this Postgres 16. So what is the, we are using open source. Community version of PostgreSQL are open source. So what is the website where we can download Postgres database? If it is community version, postgresql.org. So this is the website where we can get the open source database information. Let me go and visit postgresql.org. Can say yes. So this is the website where we can get the information about open source PostgreSQL. You can say PostgreSQL, the world most advanced open source relational database. It's a kind of, it's one of the RDBMS product. It's one of the RDBMS product. It's open source database only. We are talking about open source. If you want to go with EDB licensed database, that will be EDB. Let's see. End of the course will say EDB database. So this is open source database. So if you want to download this open source database, here only you can download. If you want to get the latest information, if you want to get the documentation, everything you have to visit this website www.postgresql.org. Okay. Now I want to download PostgreSQL database for Windows operating system because I want to install on Windows. Click on download. Click on download. On which operating system where you want to install this Postgres database? Either Linux or Mac OS or Windows or BSD or Solaris. What is the operating? Just now we verified Windows 11. So for Windows 10, Windows, whatever the Windows version, you have to choose the Windows. Yes. So Windows installers, interactive installer by EDB. Download the installer. Click on the download the installer. You can say what is the latest version of PostgreSQL 17.6. We are using 16. You can download anyone, either 15, 14, 13, whatever. So 16.10 on for which operating system? Windows 64-bit, not 32. Nowadays all are using 64-bit. So if it is Windows 64-bit. If it is Linux 64-bit. So I want to install Postgres 16 on Windows 64-bit. Click here. It's going to download PostgreSQL 16.10 version for Windows 64-bit operating system. You can say started to download. It started to download PostgreSQL 16.10 for Windows operating system. What is the size of this software? 341 MB only. What is the size of Linux? 8.10, almost 13 GB. What is the size of this Postgres database software? 341 MB only. It's a small size. So let's wait to download. Once download, we'll see how to install this database software on Windows. Let's wait. Any queries from anyone? So when you install Postgres database, there is a default user will be created. What is the default user? Postgres. What is the default port number for this open source? 5432. That is the default port number 5432. Default, when you install Postgres database, there are three databases created by default. One is Postgres, other one is template 1, other one is template 0. Once install Postgres database successfully, how to connect the database? How to connect the database? How to connect the database? There are two methods are there. One is command line mode. Second is GUI mode, graphical user interface. If it is command line mode, we are using PSQL to connect the database. If it is GUI mode, we are using PG admin tool. It's a client tools. These two are called as a client tools. To connect the database, we must and should use any client tool. If it is command line mode, what is the client tool? PSQL. If it is GUI mode, what is the client tool? PG admin. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So since it's download, let's go to download. Yes. You can say PostgreSQL 16.10 Windows 64-bit. This is the software for Windows. So how to install this database software? Just double click on this setup file, software download software. Just double click on that. It's asking to admin credential. Let's wait. You can say click on yes. It give the pop-up window. There we have to follow the instructions. Yes, you can say this is the pop-up window. Setup PostgreSQL. Welcome to the PostgreSQL setup wizard. Click on next. So the installation directory, when you install any database software, so we required two locations. Installation directory or people called as a Postgres home location. Postgres home location. This is the in case of Windows. This is the default Postgres home location. If you install Postgres 15, the number will be changed. This is the version number. The remaining same. This is the default location. This is the default 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 installation directory or default Postgres home location. What is that? This is the default home location. So the other location, default data directory. What is the purpose of data directory? What is the purpose of installation directory? The Postgres software will be installed inside this location. The software. What is the purpose of data directory? To store data files and configuration files. Configuration files. To store data files and configuration files inside a data directory. These two locations required to install Postgres database. Where you want to install Postgres database software? What is the data directory you want to maintain? If you want to default, yes, these are the default software location. In Windows, if you install 14, the number will be changed. This is the version number. Let's say, let me go to default location. If you don't want to continue with the default location, click here. Browse, give your own location. Give your own location. Suppose D drive, there I want to install D drive. Yes, select here, select your path. I am continue with the default only. So what are the components you want to install? Select components. Select the components you want to install. Clear the components you do not want to install. So PostgreSQL server, yes, I want to install server installation. PG admin 4, it's a client tool. I want to install PG admin 4 also. Yes, keep checkbox. Stack builder, it's not required stack builder. If you uncheck means it's not going to install. What are the check marker? Checked. Those three, PostgreSQL server, pgadmin 4, command line tools. If you want to connect the database via command line mode, we require command line tools, PSQL. So I want to install command line tools. I want to install pgadmin 4 to connect the database via GI mode. I want to install server also. So just you can uncheck stack builder. It's not required. Select nest. So this is the default data directory. You can say, please select a directory under which to store your data. For all the data will be stored inside data files. All the data files and the configuration files will be located, will be created inside data directory. This is the default data directory. This is the default data directory. This is the default installation location or Postgres home location. Clear? The same location, one more folder is created, data. That means all the data files and the configuration files will be created inside a data directory. Inside this location, software will be installed. Software files will be created inside this location. Data files and the configuration files will be created under data. Clear? Okay. Click on next. So please provide a password for the database super user. What is the super user in Postgres? The name itself, Postgres is the super user. You have to provide the password. I am giving Oracle. You can give any password, just you have to remember. Click on next. What is the default port number? 5432. If you want to change the port number, yes, you can change 5433, 35, whatever. I am continuing with the default port number. Click on next. Click on next. Once verified installation directory, I given default. Okay, data directory, yes, default data directory. Database port number, given default. Super user, Postgres. Once verified these all the things, yes, you can click on next. Click on next. It's going to install and create the default databases. Please wait while setup install PostgreSQL on your computer. It's installing. We have to wait. Once installation is finished, yes, we'll see how to connect the database via command line mode, via GUI mode, then how to stop and start services in Windows. Okay, let's wait. Okay, so connect the DB. Yes, connect the DB. How to connect the DB? What are the client tools? PSQL. Second, PG admin. These two are the client tools. Okay. How to connect the database? One is command line mode. Second is GUI mode. If it is command line mode, how to do that? Yes, just a PSQL. Just a PSQL -u username -d DB name -p port number. So what is the default user? Which user you want to use to connect the database? PSQL-u. Username Postgres. Because default user. -d. Which database you want to connect? Postgres is the default database. -p. Default port number. Which port you used while installation? This is the command to connect the database. Using GUI mode. GUI mode. To connect the database via GUI mode, we required below details. So what is the host name? Where the database is running? What is the default port number? 5432. What is the username? Postgres user. Which database you want to connect? DB name? Postgres. Once you have all the details, if it is host name means it's a local host. Local host. So if you have all the details, yes, you can connect the database via PG admin tool. We'll see. Let's wait to finish the installation. Then we'll see how to connect the database. So what are the software? What are the files are created under software home location? Under what are the data files and the config files created under data folder? We'll see. Meanwhile, if you have any queries, let me know. Okay, so Monday onwards, the regular sessions will be started. Okay, so tomorrow also we'll take the session. So we'll see how to install Postgres database on Linux platform. So this is our course content. So, okay, I hope there is a 10 sessions are there in my YouTube channel. If you want to go through more than 3, 4 demos, you can go through YouTube channel. So, okay, so before Monday, if you want to continue this training, you can register the course by paying fee will be 30,000. Okay, the classes will be Monday to Friday. Daily 8 o'clock, the class will be started. 9 o'clock, the class will be finished. Okay, so weekend there is no classes. Only tomorrow the session will be there. Okay.
కొంచెం 100%
Okay, so almost finished. Let's wait. So it's installing Postgres database software along with the PG admin tool as well. If you want to install PG admin alone, so you have to download PG admin. Just open Google. You can type PG admin free download. You can install. Okay, we can install PG admin along with Postgres database software. Or if you want to alone PG admin only install, yes, we can do. You can say completing the Postgres setup wizard. So successfully installed. Click on finish. Now we finish the installation Postgres on Windows. Then how to verify the installation procedure? So what is the default installation location? This is the one. Let me go to installation location. So go to C drive, program files. There is a PostgreSQL folder. Yes, it's created with date and time. You can say date modified with the today date. So 16 folder. So this is the home location. Postgres software location. Under software location, what are the files are there? Bin folder. So what is the use of bin folder? All the binaries, executable files will be created inside this bin folder. If you go to any platform, either Windows, either Mac OS, either Linux. The installation location, the same bin folder available. So what kind of files will be created inside the bin folder? It's executable files, binaries. Okay. Suppose example PSQL. PSQL is the one of the executable file which we can use to connect the database. So open the bin folder. There is a PSQL is there somewhere. You can see PSQL. Let's we can see there is a yes. Can see this is the executable file. What is the purpose of this PSQL? To connect the database in command line mode. If you want to connect the database, yes, we use PSQL. So there is a PGDM. These all the utilities are binaries which we covered during the training. End of the training, you get familiar with these all the utilities. Init DB to create a cluster. Create DB if you want to create database. Yes, you can use utility. Drop DB if you want to drop the DB from OS level. Yes, you can use this utility. Drop user from OS level. If you want to drop DB user, yes, you can use this utility. So these all the utilities are executable files where it was located under bin folder. Lib folder, all the libraries will be installed inside this lib folder. Don't touch this lib folder. If you delete some any library file, the database it won't work with expected. Lib folder, bin folder, share folder. There is some extension concept is there Postgres. All the extensions are related installed inside share folder. So bin folder, all the binaries installed. Lib folder, all the libraries will be installed. All the extensions related files will be created inside the share folder. The remaining main is data. This is the PG admin. We install PG admin also. The other one data folder. So this is the data directory. This Postgres data directory. We use default data directory. Under data directory, there are data files are there. There are configuration files are there. .config. You can say .config. So means inside the data directory, all the data files are created. Under configuration files are also there. So this is how to verify the installation procedure. Okay. Once we verified installation procedure, how to connect the database? How to connect the database? Any database, there are two methods are there. One is command line mode, second is GUI mode. If it is Oracle, how to connect the database in command line mode? Yes, SQL plus utility. If it is Oracle, how to connect the database via GUI mode? What is the tool we are using? SQL developer. The type of database we are using the respective tools, utilities. If it is Postgres, we are using command line mode PSQL. If it is Oracle, we are using SQL plus. If it is Postgres via GA mode, we are using pgadmin tool. If it is Oracle, we are using SQL developer. Okay. So let's see how to connect the database in command line mode. So just in the search bar, you can type PSQL. You can say SQL shell. Just you type PSQL, you get this one, click on this one. So what is the server? Server host name. In Windows, it's a default local host only. It already takes local host. So no need to type again local host. Click on enter. Database. Which database you want to connect? Default it consider Postgres only. That is the default behavior. There are default three database. When you install Postgres, how many database created? Three databases. Out of three, it default takes Postgres database. If you also want to connect the same database, no need to type. Suppose if you want to connect the database HRMS, yes, you can type. So I also want to same database. I want to connect. Enter. What port we used for the installation? The same port. Click on enter. What is the user? This is the user I want to use to connect this database. The same user, type enter. What is the password of this user? Give the password. Oracle. Yes, I connected. This is the database. This is the database prompt. So how to see how many databases are there in Postgres? /l. /l is the command meta command, shortcut command to give the, it list the existing all the databases, list of databases. How many database default? Postgres, template 0, template 1. Suppose if you want to create your own database HRMS, yes, create a database name HRMS. It's going to create a HRMS database. Now slash L, now can say HRMS database created. Who is the owner for all the databases? Postgres only. Because the Postgres is the super user, admin user. In Linux, what is the super user? Root. In Postgres database, inside the Postgres database, what is the super user? Postgres only. So we created the database HRMS with Postgres user. The owner will be assigned Postgres. Now I want to connect HRMS database slash C HRMS. Now I connected HRMS database. Before we connected Postgres database, if you want to switch one database to other database, slash C, we are using slash C target database. Slash L. Here also you can give slash L. In any database, if you give slash L, it gives the list of databases inside the instance, inside the cluster, inside the instance, inside the cluster. Cluster and instance both are same. Instance means it's a combination of databases. It's a combination of database. So we created one instance. That instance contains how many database right now? 4 database are there. If you want to exit, yes, slash q. We exit from database from command prompt. Suppose the same I want to connect a database via pgAdmin tool. pgAdmin tool. So let me open pgAdmin first. Let me open pgAdmin first. Yes, pgAdmin version 8. Let me open. Yes, this is the pgAdmin tool to connect the database via GUI mode, graphical user interface. Let's wait. Okay. So let's see. Let me the existing remove the connections. These are the connections. Let me remove the connections. This is the pgAdmin tool. So first we have to configure the connection here. If it is Oracle, we are using SQL developer. If it is Postgres, we are using pgAdmin. Here first we have to configure the connection. To configure the connection, what we require? We require a database host name, where the database is running, what is the port number, what is the which user you want to use to connect the database, what database you want to connect. I have all the details. Like this, application users, they use pgAdmin tool. So as a DBA, we have to build a database server. We have to share these all the details to application team. They can connect database via pgAdmin tool. First, they have to configure the connection. Once configure the connection, we can connect n number of times. So the same way we'll connect. Let me configure the connection. So these are the servers means connections, not servers. It's a connection. The terminals is different. In SQL developer, we can say connections. Here you can say servers. Let me configure the server. Server means it's a connection. So what is the connection name? I can keep Windows underscore DB. In real time, test DB, dow DB, production DB like this. Here I am going to configure a database which is running on Windows platform. So Windows DB, you can give any name, this name only, connection name. Connection. So what is the where the database is running? If it is Windows, it's a local host only. If it is Linux, you can type, you can get the host name from Linux server. You can keep the host name. What is the port number? The same port we use. You can see how to see the port number. Let me connect the database via command prompt Oracle. How to get the port number? Show port. It gives the current port number. Yes, 5432. So yes, same port number we used. What database you want to connect? Postgres database. Which user you want to use? Postgres. What is the password? Oracle. So you can give these all the details. You can save the connection. Yes, connection saved. Now I want to just I configure the connection. Now I want to connect the database. Expand this connection. Expand the databases. Which database you want to connect? Postgres. On the right click on the Postgres DB, click on query tool to connect the database. Right click on the database, click on query tool. Let's see. This slightly different. Let me. Okay. Object Explorer. Layout. Okay. Now you can say reset layout. Okay. So when you just when you get confusion, just you can go to reset layout. Okay. Now let me connect the database. Postgres. Click on query tool. Now you can say I connect the database. So this is the can say Postgres user connected to Postgres DB at the rate connection name Windows DB. Okay. So now I want to see the how many database are there. So here, if you want to execute any SQL statements, this is the query editor. This is the window where you can execute the SQL statements. Suppose if you want to see the schemas, expand the Postgres database, expand the schemas, I can say only one schema, that is the default schema public. If you want to create another schema, yes, right click on the schema, create schema. Schema 1. Yes, you can create schemas. Click on save. I created another schema. Or if you want to create one more database, right click on the database, create database, CRMS, click on save. So this is the GA tool, PG admin tool. No need to type the command, create database name. Right click on the database folder. If you want to create database, right click on the database, create database, right click on the schema, create schema. The same you can create with the help of mouse. I can create all the objects. If you want to create a table, yes, right click on the tables folder. You can create a table. Okay. So this is how you can administration using PG admin. This is the PG admin tool. Okay. So I want to disconnect from this database. I want to disconnect from this server. I can say disconnect from server. Yes, I disconnected. So like this, I can configure n number of databases here. Suppose another database is running on Linux platform. Yes, create server, give the Linux DB, whatever DB name, connection name, go to the connection, get the Linux server host name, what is the port number there, how the database configured, which port number, what database you want to configure, what user you want to configure, save the password, click on save. So that connection also configured. This is about PG admin. Any queries from anyone? Yes. Okay. So once we familiar with to connect the database via command line mode, via PG admin. So how to stop and start services? Start and stop services. Postgres DB services on Windows platform. Windows OS. So I want to stop the services. How to stop the services? You can say there is a services.msc. Any services in Windows. If you want to stop and start, you have to go to this utility, this tool, services.msc. Here you can type Postgres. You can say Postgres SQL 16. It's running state. Startup type is automatic. Automatic started. If you want to stop the services, click on stop. Now you can say yes. Now Postgres SQL services status is not running. It's not display running. Means services are stopped currently. Now if you try to connect the database, let me open PSQL. Yes, it's not connecting. Now you can say it's getting timeout because the database services itself it's not running. Connection to server failed. Connection refused. Is the server is running and the host accepting connections? Why it's not connecting? The service is not running. Let me start the services. Yes, now services are running state. Now you can try to connect anywhere from PC admin or PSQL. It should connect. is password. Alright, connected. From PG admin also we can connect. If the database services are running, then only we can connect from anywhere, either command prompt, either PG admin. Clear? How to stop and start services in Windows. In Linux, it's different. For Windows, this is the procedure. In real time, mostly it's not available Windows operating system. Mostly it's there in the Linux, 99%. But in case of Azure, Flexi server or AWS RDS, there it's a serverless instance. There we can connect the database using PG admin only. There we don't access at server level. They are maintaining vendor, Azure vendor or AWS vendor. If it is VM, yes, we can connect to VM level. But if it is RDS, managed instance, if you create database managed instance, yes, we should connect via PG admin tool. So we should familiar with PG admin tool as well. Clear? Any queries from anyone? So today, okay, this is that's it from my side. Okay, so just we completed GUI installation method. So how to download the Postgres software, how to install, what is the home location, what is the data directory, what is the default user, default port number, how many database created. So default it's created one instance. The instance means it's a cluster. Cluster means it's combination of databases. By default, three database created. Out of three, when you give PSQL connected to default this database, if you want to create your own database, yes, you can create number of databases. These are the client tools. Postgres. If it is command line mode PSQL, this is the PG admin tool. Then how to we seen how to connect the database using command line mode PG admin tool. Then we seen how to stop and start services in Windows platform. Tomorrow we'll see how to install Postgres database in Linux. We already set up the lab environment. So if anyone not at a set up lab environment, please set up the lab environment in your laptop today itself. So tomorrow we'll start the Postgres installation via source code method. In Linux mission, how to install Postgres via source code method. Then after we'll finish, then we'll say how to install Postgres via M method. Then after we'll see RPM method. What are the advantages of this method? Then what are the advantages of M method? What is the difference between source code and M method and RPM method? Which method we are using in real time? In real time, mostly we are using M method. We never use source code method. Okay, sometimes we use RPM method also. So let's see what is the difference between these three methods and which method is preferable. And after installation, each and every method will go for uninstallation. In Windows, how to uninstall? Can say we already installed. Suppose if you want to uninstall, go to the home location. This is the home location. PostgreSQL 16. There is uninstall PostgreSQL. So if you want to uninstall this PostgreSQL Windows, just you have to use this utility. Double click on this one. Click on yes. It give pop-up window. There you have to select which component you want to uninstall. I want to uninstall everything. Then you have to select entire application. Can say by default selected entire application. Click on next. It's going to uninstall everything except data folder. It's removing all the files. Data folder, it contains data files and configuration files. This data folder you need to remove manually. That is how we are uninstalling Postgres database on Windows. So in Windows operating system, we covered everything. Like this, each and every topic will cover in detail. So this is the course content. If you anyone need course content, let me know. So I will share with you in the group itself. I shared the link. So that link, if you open that link, so bindusridba.blogspot.com, there it will give all the mentioned topics. Every day will open. So will what are the topics we completed? We completed mark as a done or completed. So this one we completed today. We'll say tomorrow source code method and we'll mark as a completed. Then we'll see M method. Then so like this every day will follow the sequence. Every topic will follow the sequence. And end of the course you get familiar up to 5+ years experience. That much hands-on you get. Okay, so
That
that's it from my side. If you have any queries, let me know.
Venkat, this is